Are there any brands that you would never accept a sponsorship from? The overarching question is kind of like, how much do I get paid? And YouTube last month, I'll put up like how much I got paid. How long did it take to start making enough money to live off of? At what number of followers did you start getting offers from brands? Highest paid sponsorship ever was I woke up this morning and I decided that I want absolute chaos today. I want to expose all the influencer things. I'm going to expose how much I get paid for brand deals, how much YouTube pays me every month for AdSense, what it's like being an influencer, how long it actually takes, blah, blah, blah. Every single thing you have, I asked you guys on my Instagram any questions you had about being an influencer, being a full-time creator, and you can be as nosy as possible, and you guys have some nosy questions. So I thought today we could just hang out. I have to pack for a long weekend. We're going to a cottage with my partner's family, and I thought we could pack, hang out together, get some work done, and just throughout the day answer all your juicy influencer questions. Thomas is really wanting to be on the vlog. Come here. Mwah. I'll answer a couple of questions now, and then I have to start packing my bag for the weekend. I will answer some questions while I'm doing that. But the first question is, how long does it take you to make your content? And so just before we start this video, I want to go through the different places that I exist on the internet. I kind of exist in two places, or three. Two of them are on YouTube. So one of them is this channel. This is Diaries of Tay. This is not a profitable channel. I think I've made like $300 on this channel through AdSense in like 2 months. This is my second channel. It's very chill vibes over here. We yap. We're very close. I tell you all my deepest, darkest. Like, I'm going to be literally telling you my paychecks today. We're very close over here. My main channel is Diaries of Creativity, and that is, I upload once a week, scripted, higher quality videos, whatever, over there. And then the other place I exist on the internet, my largest platform, is my Instagram. It's at Diaries of Creativity, and that is my first social channel I ever made, like, under this brand, and also, I don't know, it's kind of like that's where I exist the most, my largest following, and I love it over there too. So that's kind of where I exist. So how long does it take to make my content? One YouTube video is going to be at least 20 to 30 hours of work on my main channel. And that includes like making my ideas, starting the script, filming it, editing it, blah, 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 whatever. That's like everything from beginning to end, 20 to 30 hours, depending on the video. If it's a sit-down video where I'm just yapping to the camera and then I have to edit it kind of funny, that's like 20 hours easily. Like just a quick, and that's not very long to me. 20 hours, whatever. I have a 40-hour work week, so half my work week to do one video is very attainable to me. Over if I'm doing a much larger video, a vlog, maybe where I just uploaded like reading books that It Girls Love video, that took me a long time to do because I had to read 5 books for that video. So that was like, if we included the reading the books as part of it, that was like a 50, 60 hour video. But obviously I don't really include that because I would have read the books anyways. For an Instagram video, my Instagram is like very highly, like I put a lot of work into my videos over there. So I would say one video, like one of my main series, Stop the Scroll, Start the Craft, that video would probably have taken me like an hour to scroll through Pinterest and like curate a good theme for the video, 15 minutes to film, and then probably about 2 to 3 hours to edit. I'm a slow editor. I think I'm slow. But yeah, so if I'm trying to upload 5 to 7 times a week, which I am, I'm at least doing 20 to 30 hours on Instagram as well, which is crazy. So yeah, my work weeks are long right now. They're lovely. And then also my vlogs. My vlog channel. I took last week off, so I'm kind of like feeling guilty about that. But like, yeah, these vlogs, I try to just film things that I would have been doing anyway so that it doesn't like seep into my time too much. But these vlogs are probably, like, realistically, they're adding like 4 or 5 hours to film. And then, but again, I try to just film things I was already doing. So sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 5, depending on the video. And then my editing, I can probably edit a vlog in like 2 to 3 hours. I'm very quick with vlogs. I don't edit these very highly. That's why I'm sitting on my floor. I'm literally just sitting on this floor filming this. Very low-key vibes. So probably, yeah, like 3 hours to edit. I do these mostly like in the evenings. I'll like, while we're watching a show or something, I'll just like quickly do my edits to my vlog. Probably not very good to be multitasking that, but I really care about my vlog channel and I care about the second channel here. And so I try to put in a lot of effort to make sure I'm like putting time into it, even though it's not lucrative and it's not very popular, but I like doing it. So I continue to prioritize it, even though I feel very busy. Currently 7 a.m. and I'm editing this vlog on the day it's supposed to be uploaded. Ha ha ha. Awesome. I want to correct myself here. Vlogs don't take me 3 hours to edit. Like, for example, I'm, like, only, like, a couple minutes into this vlog, what you're seeing, but I've already been editing for 30 minutes. I would say if it's a 15-minute vlog, that's going to take me about 3 hours. But a lot of the time, my vlogs have been an hour to an hour and a half, and those take me about, like, 8 hours to do. It depends on the vlog and the vlog length, specifically. It depends on the length. For a 15-minute vlog, 2 to 3 hours, or 3 to 4, whatever I said was probably correct. But if I'm doing an hour and a half, that's at least a full work day, not including filming. So, I don't know why I lowballed it so much, but that's more correct, I think. I think the bigger you get, the less content you post, though. Like, I know some people who have, like, millions of followers on YouTube or subscribers, whatever. I sound like a boomer. They upload, like, once every 2 months. And, like, that's enough money for them to, like, live off of. So, like, yeah, they don't work very much. And, like, I love that for them. That's actually the freaking dream to be able to do that. And I applaud them. I clap. I cheer. It's just not my reality. I'm not big enough to do that. If I stopped posting, I would quickly stop making money. I'm not relevant enough to just do that. So it really does, like, depend on how popular you are. When people say being an influencer is easy, I definitely think it's an easy job. I think it gets easier as you go on. I think it's quite hard at the beginning because you're basically building a business. Like, you're figuring things out. It's all new. I didn't know how to do my personal finances for it. I didn't know how to edit right. I didn't know how the monetization process worked on YouTube. Like, I was learning a lot. As you go on, it gets easier because as you get more popular, you don't have to create as much content. And so I do think being an influencer is ultimately an easy job. I just think it's hard at the beginning. And I feel like I'm kind of getting out of the trenches where I can slow down a little bit. Like, I'm like, if I don't upload an Instagram post today, it's going to be okay. But for the last, like, year, I've been very much like, go, 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 go. And that was overwhelming. But I feel like ultimately, like, I think being an influencer is a very easy job. I think at the beginning, it's hard. It's like as hard as building any business is and as hard as being self-employed is generally. Like, it's not exceptionally hard at all, but, like, it's as hard as building any other business or trying to manage yourself. Like, if you're not used to it, it's a big adjustment. Okay, what other questions have you guys been asking? How do you make videos entertaining for people to watch and share? That's a nice question that you think I'm good at that. I think I am quite comfortable in front of the camera, which is very helpful. Like, I think you can tell when someone feels awkward on camera and doesn't really feel like they're talking to, oh, sorry, sorry, I bumped you, and, like, feels uncomfortable on camera, and I think that really shows through. I'm very comfortable on camera. I'm Gen Z. I grew up doing this. I had a Taylor Swift Instagram, like, fan account when I was, like, 10 that I, like, built to, like, 3,000 followers when I was, like, 10 years old. I'm very used to being online, and I think that show through. I also, like, I have a business degree, I have a marketing degree, so I'm, like, I learned how to do marketing, I guess, but I honestly feel like most of the skills that I bring into my influencer and, like, my content creation is very, like, self-taught. I just, like, edit nicely, I feel like. I try to let you guys know me. I find it hard to watch people who I don't feel like I really know. Like, I feel like you guys truly do know, like, most things about me, and I think creating that personal relationship allows me to be interesting for you to watch, because it's not really, I don't like watching influencers who I can tell, like, are being fake, and I'm like, I don't know anything about you, you know? I try to be as honest as I can, as genuine as I can, and I hope that shows through, and yeah, I guess that's it. Do you think the DJI Osmo Pocket is a good investment if you're starting out as a creator? That's what I'm filming on right now. I don't know. I think it depends on what you're trying to film. This isn't, like, the best quality camera, I don't think, but it's nice for vlogging, and it's nice. Like, I basically exclusively use this for my vlog channel, or if I'm doing a vlog style video where I'm, like, moving around constantly on my main channel, I still will use this because I'm just, like, too lazy to be moving around my big, like, Canon camera. So I don't know if it's a good investment. I'd say try to film on your phone. If you have a good iPhone, use that. But if you don't have one, maybe it's a good investment. I'd say just, like, learn about it and see what you want to do. Are there any brands that you would never accept a sponsorship from? Audible, I wouldn't accept a sponsorship from you because I just think that Amazon is doing horrible things for the book community. And I actually, when I see book creators have sponsorships from Audible, I just think it's a bad look. Sorry, I do. How long did it take to start making enough money to live off of? I started my Instagram account in February of 2023. No, 2024. Feb 2024. And it is now almost like September 2025. And I would say I'm just now, like in this last 2 months. I've had a couple sponsorships that were bigger, but who's to say that those sponsorships won't come around again, and then I'm going to be like, oh, I again don't have enough money to live off of. So I would say, I guess like 18 months, but I still feel like it's a little rocky, and I'm choosing to make less money than I was in order to pursue this. In what way does being an influencer affect your relationship with Jer? Jer is my boyfriend. I love him so much. He's my partner. I've been together for 5.5 years, which is crazy. And we've lived together for almost 2.5 years. Yeah, we've been together for 5.5. We've lived together for 2.5. We moved in at like our 3-year mark. It affects it in a lot of good ways. Like, I think he loves that I vlog all of our trips now, and that all of that stuff is on camera. Like, that's very, very fun. He's so happy that like so much of our traveling has been recorded now, where I wouldn't have been if I didn't have like an excuse to film it. And so we're both really, really happy about that. And like Jared loves watching the traveling vlogs. It hasn't really changed anything. I don't know. I worked from home before, and I work from home now, so it's not really like that. And I still try to keep my like influencer stuff between the hours of 9 to 5. It's kind of funny when people come up to us in public and are like, hey, I know you, and also I know Jer. Like, Jer had, like, we've had people come up and be like, oh my god, Taylor and Jer, and we're both like, who are you? I'm like, oh, I follow you and I know who you are, whatever. And it's so nice, and I, like, if you see me in public, like, come up and say hi, like, I truly love meeting you. So do not feel anxious to come up. I literally love when people come up and say hi to us. Like, it makes us so happy. But I think, like, that's been kind of an adjustment of just, like, whenever we're in, like, a public space where, like, someone here could know us, and I think that's, I don't know, it's kind of, like, a weird feeling, but I wouldn't say it's affected our relationship in any way. I think it's very much, like, I don't know, it hasn't really affected our relationship. I would say it basically hasn't. I still just, like, basically work from home between the hours of 9 to 5. TLDR, it hasn't really affected it that much, but it's affected it in good ways, for sure, in terms of, like, having our stuff recorded, but, like, no bad ways that I can think of. I want to start making reels, but I have no idea where to start. Any advice? I think a good rule of thumb is, like, if you can't think of, like, 50 to 100 content ideas based on, like, the niche that you pick, then it probably isn't a good spot to be creating content in, because you're going to get creatively burnt out, so you want to have ample stuff to pull from. Okay, those are some questions for now. I think we should start packing together, and we'll answer some more. Okay, I need to figure out what I'm packing here. What am I packing? What are we doing this weekend? Sweatpants. I'll bring this red sundress in case it's warm enough, but I just really do not think it's going to be. How to negotiate and land brand deals. I don't know. I now have a manager, but previously I just negotiated everything by myself, and brands would message me, I would email them back, we would negotiate terms, blah, 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 blah. I think the main thing to look out for when you're starting out are usage rates and exclusivity. So, like, for example, if, like, an eyewear brand reaches out to you, they can be like, you can't work with any other glasses brands for 6 months following this contract. You need to make sure that you're being compensated for the fact that you might lose money by only committing to that brand. So those are kind of, like, things you need to look out for. Definitely look up videos specifically on, like, how to negotiate if you're starting out. But yeah, mostly brands just email me and then I would negotiate, but now those emails go to my manager and she figures it out, because I just, like, decided to outsource that because my schedule was feeling really busy. And that wasn't a part of it that I like the creative part of content creation. I don't like the business side. So anything that I can outsource on that end, it's like a win for me. What do I love most about being a content creator? I have a piece of ice in my mouth. I think I love the people most. Like, it's a pretty isolating job in a lot of ways. But whenever I meet one of you out and about, or whenever I hear one of your personal stories in my DMs, it doesn't feel as lonely. And I think creating a community is something that I'm really passionate about. And the fact that I get to, like, do that is really exciting. I also just like this isn't really being content creator specifically, we're just being self-employed, like making your own schedule a bit more, something I do not take for granted. I used to be self-employed, and then I was in the corporate world for about like 3 to 4 years, and going back to self-employed has really felt like a return to what I'm good at, a return to like my skills, my talent, where I thrive. And I just feel like my skin is getting clearer. I'm way more happy. I sleep so much better now than I used to. All these things, and like it just feels like my body is like, yes, this is correct. I am made to be self-employed. I think after this experience, I would find it very hard to ever work as an employee again. And I found it hard when I was working as an employee in the 9-to-5 grind. It's just not for me. And I knew that while I was in it. And that's why during my time in it, I was also working on my Instagram account on the side, because I knew that like I could not be in a 9-to-5 forever. How do I avoid burnout? I don't. I honestly feel like really trying to stick to those 9-to-5 hours is helpful. Realistically, I'm working at least a 10-hour day every day, most of the time. Sometimes I like will take a break and like not do that or hang out with friends or something. But it unfortunately is kind of the name of the game at this point in my career and journey with it. Yeah, I don't have any advice for this because I need advice for this. I feel very burnt out a lot. How do you edit your videos? What programs do you use? I use CapCut to edit my videos. How do you get PR boxes? Brands will just email me and ask if I want to receive something, and then I say yes or no. About 95% of the time, I say no. Were you always consistent on social media, or did you blow up? I wasn't always consistent. Like, since starting my account in Feb 2024, I've been very consistent. So, like, for that 18 months, I wouldn't say I blew up. I'd say it was pretty steady growth. Up until then, I was stuck at like 22K for 6 months in there though. I went from 0 to 22 very quickly. And then I was at 22K for 6 months. And then since January until August or September, I've gone from 30K to like 160K, which is what I'm at now. So that growth was very fast, but it wasn't like overnight I gained 100K followers. It's been like pretty consistent, like spaced out. I don't know. Whatever you define that as is what it is, but I don't know. I've been consistent, but then maybe that's also considered blowing up. It wasn't overnight though. What's the hardest learning curve you experienced? Probably just like how to talk to brands. I felt like I really had to like go in feeling very confident and like I knew what I was doing despite like not knowing what I was doing, because they will try to take advantage of you and try to lowball you and not pay you what you're worth. And at the end of the day, that's not great, is it? Like, I recently had a brand deal that I made $1,200 on, and I learned that someone else had gotten a similar brand deal from the same brand and made like almost double what I had charged. And I could have gotten more if I had just been more stern, but I didn't know how to. And that was my wake-up call to get a manager. Because I was like, I can't handle this on my own. I'm clearly not getting the money and not getting the value that I'm worth. So that's why I got a manager. That brand deal was the wake-up call for me. Okay, I'm going to answer the rest of these. I just need to figure out my packing. So I have 2 dresses. I have bike shorts. That shirt. Do you have advice about growing an account to get brand deals? This is going to sound so cheesy, but truly, if you're going into it with just money on the mind, I don't think you're going to come across as authentic. Like, I think you can go in and spend your time on something and prioritize the fact that you want to make money. But if your main goal is to get brand deals, I just think that you're going to end up filtering yourself, because you're not going to want to, like, for example, earlier in the video, I was like, I would never work with Audible. If you were smart, and if I was smart, I would never say that, because then I'm not going to get that brand deal. I can never take that brand deal now. And so if you're going into your content creator career with trying to optimize for brand deals, I just think you're basically putting a filter on yourself. If that's like your main priority, not that money shouldn't be a priority. Like, this money is a priority for me, but I'm not willing to take anything that I can get. It's a priority to me as long as it's actually aligned and I actually like it. I would never like take a brand deal I'm not genuinely obsessed with and love and like want to share. So I don't know. I guess I don't really have advice because I didn't grow my account with that in mind. So I'm not sure. Was I camera shy before? No. At what number of followers did you start getting offers from brands? My first ever offer where I was like getting paid, I think was at like 10K, and I think I got paid $300 US, or maybe Canadian. No, 300 US, and I was at 10K. But that was it. But then I don't think I got another one until like $25K. And then I think that one paid me like $500. And then, yeah, so I guess like around in between 10 and 30K, I started getting like a couple $100s for brand deals. How did I find or decide on my manager, and how did I know it was time? I knew it was time when I realized that I got way less for a partnership than I was deserving of, because I didn't stand up for myself enough. And I actually found my manager through one of my friends. Used to work in influencer marketing, and one person that she used to work with eventually went off, like left the company they worked at together and made her own management company. And I said, give me that girl's Instagram. I want to sign with her. And I got a good vibe. I get people reaching out to me probably every week, offering to manage me in my email. So if you're looking for a manager, for me, I probably would have just taken anyone who like emailed me directly. But I liked having the inside, like knowing someone who knew her and could vouch for her, so I trusted her. What are the jobs that I've had before this? Okay, my first ever job was like babysitter, and then I was a soccer referee for a long time. I actually always consider going back to that. Like, I think it would be a really fun little, like, once a week to go ref some soccer. I was a cleaner for, like, my dentist for a long time. They had, like, a lovely house, so I cleaned that. Like twice, 2 to 3 times a week. I would like do their dishes, do their laundry. I was kind of like a maid vibe. I was in high school. I cleaned Airbnbs when I was in high school. I was a hostess at Eastside Mario's, and then I did their takeout, and then I quit right before I turned 18. So I was never like fully a server, because I was piecing the fuck out of there. And then when I was in school, I did Airbnb cleaning, student house cleaning, and those are all under my own like my own business. Like I had like a cleaning business kind of, like that's what I mean. But like I've been self-employed for a long time. Like even in high school, oh yeah, I mowed people's lawns, and I did work at Eastside's, but I also on the side while I was in high school was doing cleaning like in my own business. So like I've truly been like working for myself for a very long time. Oh yeah, and then I ran a like vintage clothing store on Instagram during COVID, which was really fun because people didn't want to go to the thrift stores and stuff. So I did that for a while, and then I got into the corporate world because I started getting to the end of my degree. I was like in social media manager for like a fitness company for a long time. I did a lot of freelance, again, still working for myself, did a lot of freelance marketing, had like a bunch of different clients at one point. I worked for a marketing agency as an account manager, and then I ended up working for an impact investment company as their like content person. And then that is the job I got laid off of when I got laid off in January. I've had a journey with like my work, my career, whatever. But it's landed me in a really cool spot, and I think those skills that I learned from, like, working for myself for so long are really benefiting me now because this wasn't a hard transition for me at all. It felt like a return to what I'm meant to be doing. So, yeah. And also, I've worked in the social media space. I've worked in content. So, like, the analytical side, I kind of do understand a decent amount. Like, I'd say a high amount. Like, I really do understand the analytical side a lot because like most of my previous jobs, I was presenting numbers, like monthly social media numbers to clients, to the bosses, everything. So I'd say I have like a pretty good grasp on like that type of shit. But yeah, a lot of questions just asking me how I grew my account in general, and like I don't know, I posted often. My signature series, Stop the Scroll, Start the Craft, really helped me. Like I think that was like my main thing that helped me grow. That's kind of it. I feel like I just posted and people liked what I posted. I didn't post like 5 times a day or anything crazy. I post probably like 5 times a week. Probably near the beginning it was closer to like 7 to 9 times per week. That's kind of it. Toiletries are packed. Okay, and the overarching question is kind of like how much do I get paid? And YouTube last month, I'll put up like how much I got paid. This is how much I made, and that's pretty standard for every single month. Like this doesn't go up or down too significantly within the past 6 months. That's how much I make off my main channel, Diaries of Creativity. You're currently on my second channel, Diaries of Tay, And this channel made this much last month. Like, it makes significantly less, but I love this channel, so I continue to pour my heart into it. I just want to clarify that this is the amount that I made just from ads running on my YouTube videos. So that doesn't include any money from partnerships or anything like that. And then it's also pre-tax. So probably about like 30% of that I don't actually keep. And then my Instagram really varies. Like, that's just based on like paid sponsorships. As I've had my like highest paid sponsorship ever was $2,300 US, but my manager takes 20% of that. And then also that's like pre-tax, and then also tax comes off. That's what I kind of make. It's a huge range. I'd say like once a month or like once every 6 weeks. If I'm lucky, I'll have one of those like $2,000 sponsorships with my Instagram, and that really helps me like make an income. But it really changes a lot. My most consistent form of income would be my YouTube AdSense. And then on YouTube, I usually make for brand deals right now like around $500 US for a feature in a video. So yeah, I hope that was helpful, and I hope that you found all this information helpful, and I appreciate you being here. I do not take for granted the fact that you carved time out of your day to spend it with me. All this being said, subscribing and hitting that bell changes my life. Like, I'm not even joking. If you subscribe, if you hit that bell, I will literally give you the biggest kiss on your head, because that tells YouTube that you actually enjoy my videos. It helps them push out my videos more, and it helps me like actually make money for the content that I make for you guys, and that's a really cool feeling. So I really appreciate you. I love you so, so much, and thank you so much for being here. And I hope you have an amazing day. If you want a part 2 to this where I answer even more questions, let me know. I'm like literally such an open book. I do not care. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. So if you have any more questions, put them in the comments below, and we'll do a part 2 and answer them. Anyways, I love you so much. Hope you have an amazing day.